Now, going over to the culture part of the podcast, you have the Daily Wire releasing their very first comedic film today. It's the first comedy, perhaps in decades, this one being called Lady Ballers, which takes on the controversial topic of biological men competing in women's sports and, I was going to say, as you can guess, dominating pretty much in every aspect. I've yet to come across, and let me know in the comments if you have seen it, but I've yet to see an example where women join a men's sport, or I forget the terms, and they just dominate the category. I have not seen it. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I mean, probably not, but it's fascinating to see there's only one way the sports goes, and they seem to have a ridiculously high advantage. Now, let me pull it up here. It's a short little 3-minute video, but it already got 23. This just a preview, and again, it comes out today at 8 p.m. It's got 23 million views on Jeremy Boring's personal LinkedIn, or sorry, not LinkedIn, his personal Twitter account, also known as X by 18 people. Jeremy Boring is a co-creator and co-CEO of the Daily Wire, which is one of the fastest growing media companies. They are headquartered out of Nashville, Tennessee. About 250 employees, best known for their podcast personalities or podcast guests, their hosts, being Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh, Michael Knowles, Candace Owens, then Brett Cooper, her show being called The Comment Section with Brett Cooper. And they're growing exponentially. They're perhaps the most successful subscription company in that regard, and in terms of a streaming company. And Jeremy says before this preview, he says, quote, "Hollywood won't make a movie about how laughably absurd it is that we now allow grown men to call themselves women and then dominate in women's sports. So we did, introducing our first feature-length comedy, Lady Ballers, available daily December 1st, only on DailyWirePlus.com. I was going to say, and it also got 64,000 likes. And again, I appreciate your patience. I'm trying to find a new technology for software, currently recording using OBS open source, and I'm willing to pay for software. I just had some issues with my camera syncing with this. I need a solution, and I appreciate your feedback, so I can do a picture-in-picture for the show. And I'm open to, I tried XSplit, that software, but still has some technical difficulties with this particular camera I'm utilizing. So if you have suggestions or comments, I greatly appreciate it. But without further ado, I will play the audio for the preview right now.
In a world where women's sports is being transformed, the Daily Wire calls foul with the most triggering comedy of the year.
Guys, this is serious.
A big bodybuilder looking type guy just took a girl and slammed her down in a wrestling mat, obviously winning with not even a modicum of effort, which, again, comedy imitates reality is what they say, which that's happening.
Sports can be your pathway to a better life.
Well, like yours?
Please don't steal my catalytic converter again. Winning matters. It's the key ingredient in becoming a winner.
Maybe you should try it sometime. Are you gonna move?
I am not.
Let's cut to the chase. I know you're not a woman.
Hey, you know how he identifies.
If you can beat them.
What do you know about the U.S. Opens for the Global Games?
You want us to compete as women. I felt you
It shows like 3 women trying to throw a metal sphere, like the Olympic game, and they throw it maybe 4 to 5 yards. Then they have the guy in the wig, he just throws it like not 100, maybe like 20, 30 yards.
My lover says you were a great coach back in the day.
Join.
This is the way the world is now. My 8-year-old daughter told me all about it. So, a guy can become a girl with no physical changes at all.
Oh, that's called gender fluid.
So I can be a woman on the court and a man in the bedroom. I can't believe it. Nice!
You mean when you're sleeping?
Yes. Coach, Alex, we could play basketball.
We have to get the whole team back together.
It's time.
We're in. I'm in. I'm in.
To play.
Lady Ballers. Mount up.
Like a girl.
That's right. I'm with her. This is my turn.
From heroes
Day 1 of being a girl athlete. I love being a girl.
to sheroes.
We could dominate every woman's sport. Running, swimming, soccer. I said sport, Felix.
Another debate for another time. Soccer, truly a sport?
It's latest basketball, boys. Nobody watches.
Fact check. There was one person in that little arena that they walked into for their basketball game. So there was one person, which pretty realistic actually.
Excuse me. Are these seats open? Never mind.
Brilliant cameo with Ted Cruz. Brilliant political move because, again, for Ted Cruz's audience, most of them, if they're not fans of this already, this is probably going to resonate with them. If anything, I suspect it'll actually get him more votes. And again, let me know in the comments if you think that's not a prudent political move, but I think that's clever to have Ted Cruz. I'm guessing it's a little cameo. It's just a trailer. I don't think he's going to be like an integral character for myriad of reasons, including time allocation.
Kentucky Trunks.
That's the biggest I've ever seen on a lady.
I don't care.
Lady Ballers.
One can even be trans age now, which provides Sheelix with a wonderful opportunity to relive all the experiences that she missed out on in school.
This is I'm a full-grown man going up against girls playing t-ball and just got home run, not even trying.
Streaming exclusively on Daily Wire Plus December 1st.
And that was brilliant. Now, the only downside from that preview is they didn't really utilize all of their talent. Again, Ben Shapiro's the referee saying "I don't care" in his iconic voice. That's A+ marketing. That's Ben's shtick. That's brilliant. It's on point. It's on brand. It's funny. It's one of those instances where he's there. You had Andrew Clavin, who's another executive at the Daily Wire. He was the guy who said, "I've never seen a blank that big." But I didn't see a Matt Walsh in that. Or Michael Knowles. And again, they might be in the film, but they're not in the preview. And those are some of their top personalities. Same with Brett Cooper. Same with Candace Owens. Granted, I know there's a little bit of controversy or a little infighting with between Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro with their takes on the Palestine and Israeli conflict, war, whatever you want to call it. There's a conflict in and of itself between the two personalities, so I understand there's some drama there. But why is Matt Walsh not in this? Why is Michael Knowles not in this? Brett Cooper. And again, those are some of your top talents, which, again, this is also a mechanism for them to advertise their other personalities and their other products that they sell, aka their podcasts, their merchandise. And I just feel like they kind of missed that opportunity there. Especially Matt Walsh. He became iconic in many respects by Matt Walsh's documentary, What is a Woman? I mean, that nearly doubled the size of the Daily Wire subscription base. It changed their company nearly overnight. And that's what these films are really doing because, again, in order to access it, you have to be a member of DailyWirePlus.com. Granted, I was going to say they should have an affiliate link by now, but they don't. So I was going to say that's just my 3 cents. It's a great product, great entertainment if you're looking for it. But it's an instance where, why didn't they utilize all their top talent? I don't know. To me, that's a little bit of a lost opportunity. And again, maybe it's in the film, but usually the trailer is pretty indicative of the actual product, and they try to put in as much as possible. Let me know in the comments if you think it's a mistake that they didn't have some of those top talents within their community or in their actual company in this particular production. And given their audience of who's following the Daily Wire, I suspect most of the comments will be overwhelmingly hilariously and supportive. But let's go ahead and, again, it's on Twitter. There's 18 people called X. Let's dive in. Again, it got 20, and again, this is within 48 hours, got 23.1 million views on Jeremy Borning's channel alone, or Jeremy Borning's profile alone when he posted this on Twitter. And it got 64,000 likes. And without further ado, we'll read the top comments. Let me see here. So Jeremy Boring, he responded, so he's one of the top comments. He got 3.8 thousand likes for him. Oh, they actually did get Riley Gaines in this? Okay, so it does say featuring Matt Walsh. And then again, this is what Jeremy Boring is tagging in terms of he's saying this is starring all these people. So Matt Walsh is there, but I didn't see him in the preview. And okay, it also says featuring Brett Cooper, Michael Knowles. So they are there, but again, did I just miss it? I guess definitely Riley Gaines was there. She was dressed. She was looks like it was at the preview of a swimming competition. So that's a good A plus in terms of marketing. That's someone who believes in the same core common values. I was going to say, Matt Walsh is usually pretty distinctive. Did I just miss it completely? No. Interesting enough. So I guess they are all in the film, so I guess I take back that particular criticism, though I would have done much more to highlight them in the trailer. So again, Matt Walsh is really recognizable. Same with Michael Knowles. You see them, you recognize them more often than not. And I mean, the main actor seems to be Jeremy Boring. He's the coach. Recognizable, makes sense. Is Matt Walsh that person?
$5,000 prize.
My lover says you're a great...
That is! Whoa. I was going to say, he's in such disguise, I didn't recognize him. I got to do a freeze frame on that. Really? That was? One of those things where you never picture Matt Walsh with a ponytail. I don't know what you call it in terms of looks like an Indian type of garment and necklace. But yeah, how did I miss that voice? Yeah, I mean, obviously that's his voice. I'm ashamed to say I missed that the first time around.
$5,000 prize.
My lover says you were a great coach back in the day.
Yeah, that's iconic Matt Walsh. So, I was going to say, my own mistake. So it'll be interesting. Yeah, I was going to say like an Easter egg hunt. Now I almost want to try to find Michael Knowles. But nevertheless, we'll get back to the comments. Now, let me see here. We exit out of the comment of a comment, go back to the main thread. Someone by the name of Zuby says, quote, I'm offended, I'm not in this, unquote, getting 7.7 thousand likes. And Jeremy replied to that saying, I am too, getting 3,000 likes. Ian Miles Chong says, quote, took balls to make this movie, unquote, getting 3.3 thousand likes. The Sarcastic says, quote, this might end up as the greatest sports films since Dodgeball, a true underdog story, maybe even Blades of Glory, unquote, getting 1.8 thousand likes. Sir Majesty says, quote, this is going to be fantastic. And it's just a screenshot of Jeremy Boring in the suit by the gentleman or I guess the gentleman playing women in the sports balls jerseys. And that got 1.6 thousand likes. ZNO says, yes, this is what the people needed, LOL. And it's the screenshot of Matt Walsh in the wig and the Indian garment. That got 2.5 thousand likes. Tyler Fisher says, quote, I'm going to edit this to make it more family friendly. Tyler Fisher says, to the effect, I cut off my own private off to be in this. You better go see it, unquote. It got 4,000 likes. Eastside Pasture says, quote, this movie could have been released in theaters in 2005 and everyone would have laughed at it at how, 1, silly, 2, unrealistic, and 3, immoral sounding this would be. Yet somehow it just became our reality, unquote, getting 1.7 thousand likes. Dr. Jebra Fauci says, quote, I'm literally shaking right now. Is this a horror film, unquote, getting 144 likes. Which I can't tell if she's being pejorative or supportive, but no, this is actually a reality, and depending on what your local rules are with your colleges and high schools, there are many instances where this is actually a true thing. It's not a horror film, it's modern society. Queen of Air of Darkness says, quote, soccer, I said sports, unquote, getting 213 likes. Chris Raygun says, this is the Spartans coded, unquote, getting 1,220 likes. Satasha Krager says, quote, so excited, LOL. And it's a picture of, I think it is actually Brett Cooper dressed up in Native American garments and another co-host. So it's the channel covering it's inside the movie, it's the channel covering one of the events. And it got 523 likes. Brandon Brown says, quote, Matt Walsh makes a good hippie, unquote. 633 likes next to that picture. Christopher Calvin Reese says, quote, this is amazing. The Babylon Bee has taught us that part of reaching the culture is knowing how to use humor to make important points on morality, faith, and society. But the names of this Lady Ballers is truly hilarious. Who of the Daily Wire is responsible for this title? Unquote, getting 1,000 likes. Let's see here. Chrissy Mayer says, quote, is there any way this could be released in theaters even for a week? It's a great time to take advantage of the fact that Hollywood's got nothing cooking in the comedy department, unquote, getting 129 likes. To which I would say, probably not. Because, again, most of his distributors would probably refuse to actually distribute the film, and most of the theaters would probably have boycotts from all the adult children who just cannot fathom anyone else having a different perspective, yet alone having a modicum of comedy. So, no, I don't think a movie theater, or I should specify, I don't think a mass chain of movie theaters would have this film. The odds of that are pretty low. Plus, it kind of go against their idea. Daily Wire is trying to build alternative media. They're building their website. They're building the software subscription service. And they made this film so that you would pay for a subscription to see it. So you could build that alternative media. So having it in traditional theaters doesn't really help with that vision and that goal. So that's a few reasons I don't think that's actually a realistic thing to expect for this to actually come to theaters anytime soon. Now, other comments come from America First. Although this person, interesting enough, it says America First, but they have an emoji of the Israeli flag inside their profile picture. But nevertheless, this alleged American First profile says, quote, haven't seen a good comedy in years. Really excited to see this one. Unquote, getting 654 likes. Clifton Duncan says, quote, this looks legitimately hilarious. Unquote, getting 918 likes. Let's see here. Let's see. Jay Viper says, and I just got Daily Wire Plus. Never saw this coming. Unquote, getting 148 likes, which is exactly why they're making these films. Not just to make a difference, make a dent in the universe, but also in another way of doing that is building up your business, building up the subscription base, building up that whole channel of alternative media, and drawing in new consumers, new people who believe in that vision. And proof in point, there's someone who just got upgraded, either bought or they upgraded their subscription to DW Plus. Craig Chamberlain says, quote, this comedy took some balls, unquote, getting 363 likes. Merrick says, quote, in Ireland, this is hate speech. Let that sink in, unquote, getting 479 likes, which is true and alludes to a different part of the show, which we'll cover in a couple minutes, with Conor McGregor getting in trouble for having the audacity of calling out the ineptitudes of the government. Primary of the Union Party says, quote, mock them with truth. I can't wait. I hope it's a huge success, unquote, getting 794 likes. Let's see. And I can't help but, I mean, this is, let's see here. Paul Zoomfula says, quote, Democrats will say this is hate speech and insist that the Daily Wire be thrown off every platform that carries them, pointing out the absurdity of left ideologies is illegal in Biden's America, unquote, getting 532 likes. Which is not too unfounded given what happened to Parler when they're just deplatformed on everything instantly overnight because they had the audacity of having alternative ideas. Let's see here. Someone by the name of Robert Sputkus says, quote, this is going to be awesome. Laughter is the best medicine. And it is a picture of C.S. Lewis saying, quote, above all else, the devil cannot stand being mocked, unquote, getting 830 likes. The Breaking Report says, quote, opinion. The funniest part about this is this movie isn't even a comedy. It's all documentary, unquote. I got 408 likes. Let's see here. So it looks like overwhelming positive responses. Now, I guess the only question that remains is, will this increase the subscription base at the same rate that What Is a Woman did when that released a couple years ago? It is certainly calling out a big cultural issue, very similar to What Is a Woman did. Now, if I were a gambling man, I'd say they'd probably increase their subscription size 20%. I don't think it's going to double the size of the company, although, I mean, this is really the first comedy we've seen in over a decade. Comedies have become so rare because Hollywood is so scared they're going to offend one single person. I mean, comedy is basically gone. I mean, let me know in the comments, when was the last time you saw a big comedic film in a theater? I mean, someone in the comments mentioned Dodgeball. Which, yeah, that's, I mean, true comedies? I mean, theaters are dominated by action films as well as drama and romance. I mean, those are the general categories. But there's not many like comedies like this. This reminds me of like the 2000s era, back when back in the day of my youth, when we had a bunch of really raw comedic comedies that would take jabs at everyone, and they're hilarious. So maybe we'll increase the subscription size substantially, but I'm going to guess it's around 20%. Let me know in the comments. It'd be fascinating to hear what you have to say. Thank you again for everyone taking the time to do it in today. Again, we're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of December, so if you click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, leaving a comment is a great way to help me learn and how things I could be improved better, including my speaking aptitudes, which I'm slowly but surely increasing on and getting better at. Some might say it's because of my theory of when you click the subscribe button, it helps with that. I'm not a doctor, but Just saying, it's worth trying out. Also, lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight,